What is up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. This is episode 6. We're super excited for our guest. I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
How's it going? I'm Gaston with Rough Country Suspension Systems.
Gaston, welcome to the show, man. We appreciate you joining us. Where are you at right now? Where are you located?
We're in Dyersburg, Tennessee, about 90 miles north of Memphis along the Mississippi River.
Oh, nice. What's the weather like out there right now?
It's actually unseasonably warm. I think we're going to be in the 70s today. Temperatures should have been dropping down a little more this time of year. Actually, a week ago, we had a freeze warning Friday night. So it's kind of fluctuating a little bit, which is typical for this time of year.
Got it. Yeah, man, I'm sure you know Arizona is hot, but we had one hell of a summer. We broke all kinds of records here in Arizona for heat, length of heat. And yeah, man, it's just been brutal. And we get a cool off that, should last until it warms back up. So that's nice. It's going to be our nice season. Tomorrow it drops to like a high of, I want to say like 74 and a low in the 50s, and then the next day is like a low of 68, a low or a high of 68 and a low of 45. It kind of stays that way from here on out.
Yeah, but it's a dry heat, isn't that what they say?
Yeah. It's not too muggy. Every once in a while you'll get where it's real muggy as well. But yeah, pretty much it's a dry heat, and it's kind of weird. I was in Wyoming during the summer. I've got family there, and the mom's side of the family's from Wyoming. And, of course, it gets really cold there, and it does get warm during the summer, but it is so different. The cold here in Arizona, it is a weird cold. It gets really, really cold here, and it's a dry cold, too, so it's different.
Yeah, the moisture in the air definitely has a factor on the temperature. When it's hot here, hot and muggy, you'll ruin a T-shirt stepping outside, man, just immediately soaked. So
yeah. Well, look, man, we're super excited to have you on the show. Rough Country is one of our big, partners, providers here at Trucks Only. A little bit about us: we've been in business, for a long time, over 40 years, and we kind of specialize in the lifted truck section, and we do all the lifts, for the most part here ourselves. We've got a custom lift center, the Trucks Only Service Center. And so, our technicians and lift specialists do a bunch of the lifts here. And we just thought it'd be great to have you on the show. So, if you would, I'd like you, start off telling our audience kind of, how Rough Country started and what are your guys' origins there?
Okay, yeah. So Rough Country started on the West Coast. It was a smaller. They actually started making off-road shocks and shock absorbers. There weren't a lot of options at the time. People could re-arch springs or use blocks on the leaf spring kits to lift the trucks. But then they were either making like spacer kits to keep the factory shocks with the additional lift, or there really weren't a lot of options. So Rough Country saw that need and filled it and started making specifically off-road shocks. They did that for several years and started to branch out and actually produce leaf springs.
When that all started, just curious.
So it got started in 1975.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. And then in 1986, Heckathorn Products, which was a producer for off-road steering stabilizers here in Dyersburg, purchased the company and moved all the facilities to Tennessee. And that's where we've been ever since. And we've, added products and continued to grow year over year and month over month at this point.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, I appreciate the backstory a little bit, but yeah, just like you're talking about, year over year, we've seen a exponential increase in just the community, the off-road community, the lifted truck community, kind of interested in lifting trucks and accessories. I mean, yeah, it's been blowing up.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
So what is your guys' number one product?
our number one product is the part number 1307. That is going to be you're familiar with it, I'm sure. It's the 2-inch leveling kit for 07 to 18 GM 1500 vehicles. We sell more of that month over month than any other product. And to be honest with you, it's probably because that's the way the truck should have came from the factory.
Right, I agree. That's funny. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's cool. So I know that you guys more, frequently or more recently started getting into, additional accessories and stuff. Is that, I mean, I know you talked a little bit, starting off with the suspension and stuff, but has that always been a focus for you guys? I've noticed a lot of cool new products out of that lineup.
Yeah, I would say probably in the last 5 or 6 years, we've really focused on expanding, trying to be almost like a one-stop shop, when you're ready to modify your vehicle. We've added, fender flares, bumpers, bed mats, tonneau covers, really trying to be, you come to this website with a stock truck and you can leave with it, completely decked out without having to go anywhere else.
Very cool. And what do you guys see, selling the most in that area? What are people really kind of flocking to? Just curious.
Accessory wise, probably top of the list is going to be steps, simply because once you lift it, you still have to get in the truck. And a lot of times the factory steps, they're right at rocker height, and you need something with a little more stirrup, a little more drop to be able to get into the truck comfortably.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And so do you guys have certified, because I've seen some of the videos that you've done on YouTube and stuff, and they're really cool. And so does Rough Country have certified techs that does the lift at places, or how does that work exactly? Or do you guys have the people, internally that are kind of going over how it should be done for the folks at home?
Well, the answer to both those questions is probably yes, to a certain extent. We've got installation facilities here on site, but typically, once you become an authorized dealer, usually the authorization process, requires us to verify that your mechanics are competent enough to install the kit, or we're going to pass, obviously, but for the most part, once somebody reaches out to us and wants to become a dealer, they've got mechanics that are either already familiar with installing the lifts or competent enough that we feel like they're going to be able to. And if they have an issue, they'll reach out to us, and we can usually talk them through it over the phone or through a Zoom meeting or something like that. And we've never really had to send out any text to explain, how to install the lift. So I don't think, if we had to do that, we'd probably be second guessing, making them an authorized dealer.
Sure, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's cool. I was just kind of curious myself how that process worked. And something I forgot to ask you in the beginning, where does your name come from? And, how many people sing you that song from the Disney movie? Because we thought about doing that.
My name's in a Disney movie. Really? I'm actually the second. My father was named Gaston. It's a old family name, which is weird really because cool, it's French, but we weren't. So, it was used for like middle names for girls and stuff. It's one of those names that you hate in elementary school and most of high school, but then in college, some girls like, oh, I never heard that. That's a really nice name. You're like, maybe this isn't so bad.
That's funny. That's cool. Yeah.
But yeah,
you thought it was cool.
The Beauty and the Beast thing, I had to deal with the animated, and I thought I'd gotten past that in my life, and then the live action came out. So, yay.
That's cool, man. I appreciate you sharing that. Yeah.
So no problem. No problem at all.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Somebody first time buyer of a new truck, they're wanting to get into off-roading, into lifting, but they don't want to maybe go all crazy. Needs to be something that they can drive on the street stuff. Just maybe tell us a little bit about your recommendations for the community that that entry trying to get into lifting truck community and lifting their vehicle.
Well, your entry level, 9 times out of 10 is going to be a leveling kit. And sometimes that's all anybody wants to do and they're happy with that. But more often than not, it's going to build from that. We offer kits, that are going to level it at 2, depending on the truck. But typically it's going to go from 2 to 3.5 or 4, 5, 6, and 7 in some cases. More often than not, let's narrow it down to like 07 to 18 GM 1500, which is probably the most popular truck we deal with.
Yeah, I think that's in this box that I've got right here.
There you go. So if someone, say, starts out with a 5-inch kit, it's not uncommon to have that same person reach out to us within a year and want to go ahead and go all the way up to the 7, which can be done without replacing the entire kit. Rarely do I get someone that buys the 7 and then later on calls back and says, hey, I think I want to go down to the 5. It happens, but not very often. The drivability of our kits, you can pretty much pick. Drivability won't be an issue, across the board. The 2-inch level, the 3.5, the 5, the 6, or the 7. It's still going to have great street manners, which is something we really strive for. Cool. So it comes down to basically personal preference, what size tire you want to run and, what look you're actually going for, how short your wife is, things like that.
Right. Mine's very short, but that's funny. So yeah, that would definitely play into it. And I know enough just to get myself in trouble. I'm, the digital marketing director, but I love this stuff and love talking about it. And as far as I know, like for someone that's getting an entry level, lift, they're going to keep some of the components of the stock vehicle, like the struts, right? I mean,
right.
Okay. And so when do you get into the parts of, I mean, you can replace it, say upgrading it with a Fox shock or something different, correct?
Or a Rough Country Vertex reservoir shock.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, we
talk a little bit about that though.
Okay. Yeah. We try to give you, multiple levels, multiple options. Again, going back to the 07 to 18 GMs, if you wanted the 7-inch kit on those, what I'll refer to as the entry level kit is going to retain the factory struts and add an upper strut spacer to achieve the height. From there, you can replace it with a fully loaded lifted strut. So it's a brand new strut valve specifically for the truck. The coil is rated specifically for the truck, and the lift is contained in the strut. After that, we offer our Vertex reservoir coilovers. Those are going to be, the top of the line. Obviously,
the way you named it.
Hang on. It's a coilover shock with a reservoir, so you've got additional fluid capacity. It's going to transfer heat better. It's adjustable both in the dampening. It's got 8. It's an 8-way adjustable, 1 being the softest, 8 being the firmest, and it also is a coilover, so you can adjust the height between probably roughly 6 to 6.25 up to 7.5 on the GM. So Yeah. I mean, if you're wanting to go all out, we offer that. But if you're gonna, if you're on a budget and that's the lift you want, but you're not ready to make a commitment to the reservoirs, you don't have to start out like that. You can get the kit with the spacers and upgrade to the reservoir kit.
That's cool. Yeah, it's kind of, modular where you're able to upgrade.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool. So we talked a little bit about entry level, you guys' new product, the shock, which sounds really cool. I need to get some more information on that, some marketing material for trucks only here internally or something. But what is the craziest lift you guys have ever done? We talked about that, basic entry level stuff. Tell me about like something crazy maybe you've seen a customer do in the community, or something you guys have done.
Oh, the customers, they can get crazy. Internally, like the largest lift we offer is going to be the 8-inch lift for certain years super duties.
Wow.
So like 99 to 04, the leaf sprung truck, we offer an 8-inch lift for that. And then the 05 to, and I'm coming off the top of my head, I think it's 05 to 08, where they've it's a coil sprung front end on those. We also offer an 8-inch kit for that.
Very cool.
The IFS trucks, we usually top out between 6 and 7, just because after that, the modifications required to go higher. Not everybody's going to have the skill set or the wallet. Basically, we have a certain price point we like to keep, and going beyond that height would kind of get us out of that, and so we like to stick to those particular heights.
Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I've seen some, on Instagram and Facebook and different things, some crazy stuff that people in the lifted truck community.
Yeah, I think, like I said, the customers, they'll stack a leveling kit on the tallest kit, and can't really recommend that. I mean, it looks good on Instagram,
right?
Makes great pictures, but kind of like, the extreme offsets that take a picture in the parking lot, looks awesome, then go to leave the parking lot and you have to make a 16-point turn because you're going to pull your fender off if you don't. So, but it looks good.
Looks good for a picture, but not very applicable for off-roading.
Right. But I mean, like, if you're doing a show truck, then there you go. But if you're daily in that thing, you really have to take that type of stuff into consideration.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, is there any questions that you have for me, or anything else that that you want to chat about?
Well, I was going to kind of touch on your guys' business model and talk a little bit. Like, I'm a car guy from way back, and growing up, if you wanted to get wheels, you went to one place. If you wanted to have the windows tinted, you went to a different place, stereo, suspension. And me and my brother always said, we're going to open up a place someday that it's like a one stop. You just drop your car off there, and you get the wheels and the tires, suspension, maybe a little paint work. And you guys have taken it one step beyond because you actually provide the vehicles too. So I think that's awesome. It's, and, not everybody has, unlimited funds where they can go out and finance, a truck at one place and then, try to come over here and get it customized. And the fact that you can just walk in your doors, pick out, what you want. And there's that's lifted, that F-250. That's exactly what I want. Let's make it happen. That's incredible.
Thank you, man. Yeah, we're really proud of what we got going on here. I mean, like you said, you can walk in, see something online. That's fully already set up exactly the way you want. And then, they have the ability to customize that with financing after that. Or if you see that, stock, GMC, Chevy, Tundra, whatever that is, that, that's what you want to customize, you can start with that and then work with finance and put all of that into the package deal. So you come away with everything as one, so you have your lift, your wheels and tires, all your rough country, accessories, however you want to do it, and really customize it and make it your own, so it is a pretty unique solution that we do for the customers.
Absolutely.
Really cool is we do a lifetime engine warranty. Of course we have a lifetime lift warranty on our stuff too, but the only thing we don't do that on is the diesel, just because they're able to go so high mileage.
For
But
sure.
yeah, I mean, we offer a lifetime, engine warranty. We stand behind that. All you
Wow,
have
that's
to do
unheard of.
Yeah, yeah. All you have to do is, have your oil change at a reputable place, at all the scheduled times, show your receipts and everything like that. And if there's any issues, they will replace those engine parts or the motor itself. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer then.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's pretty cool. Well, look, man, we really, really appreciate you taking the time. I mean, you are truly a valued partner of Trucks Only. We love Rough Country. The community loves Rough Country. Our customers love Rough Country. We put your guys' lifts on 90% of our trucks that we're lifting. And so I just really appreciate you guys taking the time. And, anything else that we can do to partner together and do something unique for the community down here in the Southwest, we'd love to do that. So we really appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. I really appreciate you giving us the time to come on and talk. And we're super excited and, proud to be partnered with you guys. So anytime you ever have any questions or anything, if you want to hop on a plane, fly to Tennessee and help me install something in a video, come on down.
Hey, that sounds like something really cool. We might actually have to take you up on that sometime. So you never know. Again, thank you for your time. Trucks Only loves Rough Country. And we'll look forward to our next video, and we'll look forward to what you guys do next too.
Excellent.
All right. Have a good day.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it.
You guys too. Thanks.
Bye.